feels overwhelming, and it's about time fishermen are honored.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Here's a look at tonight's top stories. Social Services Department focusing on addressing urgent matters. Also, Transportation Minister taking action to enhance the sector. And the Minister of Works contributes to the Local Government Bill 2024.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
Bahamas Houses for Boys and Girls has been repaired, refurbished, and we are in the process of hiring staff.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Topping the news tonight, the Minister of Social Services working to address a number of outstanding issues on Grand Bahama. Among these issues are the reopening of 2 vital units. Jolanda Thompson-Everest has tonight's top story.
Despite the high demand, the Department of Social Services is doing its best to address the needs of Grand Bahamians. Officials recently speaking to several outstanding issues, including PACE, a school for pregnant teenage girls, uniform assistance, and challenges at the Grand Bahama Children's Home. The Minister of Social Services, Broadcasting and Information, the Honorable Miles Larota, providing an important update on the PACE Center for Girls program. This program offers homeschooling for pregnant teenage girls and a nursery after delivery. The center was destroyed due to the passing of Hurricane Dorian in 2019 and remained closed ever since.
The Minister for Grand Bahama has been an advocate for us to have that sorted out. There are some legal issues that we needed sorting out that we are working with, and hopefully in the not too distant future that matter will be resolved.
Columbus House for Boys and Girls is another facility that has yet to reopen after being destroyed by Dorian. The facility serves as a housing center for the Department of Social Services, providing care for boys and girls ages 13 to 18 who have been removed from abusive homes, as well as those who have experienced abandonment or neglect. Assistant Director of Social Services Jody Burrows says that they are aiming for reopening by the end of 2024 or early next year.
Columbus Houses for Boys and Girls has been repaired, refurbished, and we are in the process of hiring staff to outfit the facility so that we are able to accommodate those children.
Meanwhile, the Grand Bahama Children's Home has been at a maximum capacity, particularly with the closure of Columbus House. But many residents say that part of the problem is the adoption and fostering process. Many have criticized the process as difficult, particularly for those wanting to offer a child a loving, stable home.
The courts are involved, of course, and we have to have children in care, placed in care for a certain period of time. We have to have the families involved, and we must give them a fair and fighting chance of regaining custody of their children. And when all else fails, then perhaps the children will become adoptable.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
In other news, the Local Government Bill 2024 debate taking place in the House of Assembly today, aiming to strengthen collaboration between central and local government agencies to build stronger communities. The Minister for Grand Bahama highlighting the significance of the bill, emphasizing how it would enhance the ministry's ability to address critical issues and empower local governing bodies to work more effectively with central government.
As we seek to move forward and to make this bill work for the people in our communities, Madam Speaker, we have to first learn to work together.
It's a legislation intended to reshape and revitalize the framework of local governments on family islands, now debated in Parliament. The Local Government Bill 2024 will give local governments and district councils more autonomy than the current structure. The Minister for Grand Bahama calling on local governing bodies to work closely with central government to improve the lives of Grand Bahamians, citing cases where local government has fallen short.
We can't have some playgrounds going untouched while others are maintained, or become obstructionists in some instances to Wi-Fi in the parks when this is a central government initiative.
While debating the bill, the minister pointed out examples of neglect, such as poorly maintained parks. The Honourable Ginger Moxie says the bill clearly defines roles for districts and councils and expressed hope for improved transparency.
And it is hoped that in moving forward, funds are used for what it is intended to be used, as specified in the bill. Again, it is hoped that funds are used for what it is intended to be used for, as set out in the bill, with checks and balances.
In response, the Leader of the Opposition, the Honourable Michael Pintard, acknowledged the minister's concerns, but argued that local governments have made efforts to collaborate with central authorities.
The local government, which we thought was incredible, they put in place a location where the various agencies that are working for disaster preparedness and mitigation and adaptation in the aftermath of climatic events, that they can operate.
The Freeport City Council represents the city of Freeport, not the island of Grand Bahama. Anything to do with disaster relations falls under the remit of the Disaster Risk Management Authority for the whole island. So how could the city of Freeport operate an EOC? So this EOC was not approved by or sanctioned by the Disaster Risk Management Authority.
In her closing remarks, the minister reiterated the importance of collaboration, calling for a unified approach to improving governance for the benefit of the people of Grand Bahama.
Because united we stand, and we must be united if we are serious about impacting our local communities.
While the Davis-led administration is continuing efforts to enhance the public transportation sector throughout the country, tonight the Minister of Transport shares plans to roll out a new initiative allowing tourists and public transportation users to rate their experience.
We wanted to be user-friendly. We wanted to really target our guests, our tourists, and others that use the taxis for them to be able to provide feedback and for us to be able to know how we can improve the sector.
The Rate My Ride app aims to boost customer satisfaction and provide valuable feedback for service providers. Minister of Transport, the Honourable JoBeth Colby Davis, highlighting the importance of the initiative, emphasizing its role in improving the quality of transportation services.
First, we were able to bring our code of conduct into place, right? And so just for us to put in writing what everyone already know, the act of the sector, how you're supposed to perform as a public service driver, but also for us to see how the system is working. Naturally, when you're not there, you're not always going to have your eyes and ears on the ground as they're onboarding guests, as they're dropping them off. And so the importance of the app is for us to get feedback from those who are in the sector, but also from those who are using the ride.
Currently, officials are exploring ways to simplify the app and make it more user-friendly. Minister Colby Davis notes that another significant advantage is the app's ability to give officials insight into how customers perceive fare rates and overall service quality.
Taxi drivers' pricing and the distances where they're going, if it's fairly priced, and for us to be able to provide the necessary improvements when the sector's given us feedback, for us to also be able to compile their feedback with what we're seeing from the survey and bring the necessary changes as we grow and advance our economy.
While there is no set timeline for the app's launch, the minister hopes it will be implemented sometime next year.
We don't like to give timelines because sometimes you miss your timeline, but we want to give the best product, and we want it to actually give us the feedback we need to continuously bring improvements to the sector, and so that's what's important now.
Meanwhile, a major initiative hosted by the Grand Bahama Port Authority Business Development Department is expected to bring economic boosts to Grand Bahama. Shalia Roll has the details in this report.
In the United United States, the biggest shopping deals of the year comes during the Thanksgiving weekend. But as the Grand Bahama economy begins to revitalize with an increase in entrepreneurship, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is supporting local business owners with the annual Flash Friday sale. This initiative is expected to bring major economic impact to Grand Bahama with sales up to 70% from now until December 13th. LaShawn Dames, the manager of business development at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, shares how the promotion will boost the local economy.
It is to champion the efforts of the small business community throughout the city of Freeport and Grand Bahama. So this year is going to make 8 years. If you recall, we would have launched this event back in 2016 following the devastation of Hurricane Matthew with the intent of helping to kickstart the local economy and to get our residents buying local and shopping at home so that we could support the business community and rebuild the economy of Grand Bahama.
Flash Friday has become a cornerstone for shopping and entertainment experiences starting back in 2016 after Hurricane Matthew to encourage residents to shop local. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce President James Carey adds on that this event comes at the perfect time as there is an uptick in Bahamian entrepreneurs.
It's all about business. And one of the things that we have realized over the last 2 years is that small business has sustained the economy in Grand Bahama in a very, very substantial way. So this initiative comes about at a good time because we've had a lot of entrepreneurs rising up over the last couple of years, and a heck of a lot of them again this year.
Now, Alex Thompson, Public Relations Director for the Downtown Freeport Business Association, shares why it is important to support local businesses.
As a whole, locally, because of course it's buy local, shop at home, invest in this local economy, and support your brother and your sister that's making a difference in this community.
While the shopping fund kicks off on November 22nd, 2024 for Fashion Friday, November 29th for Tech and Foodie Friday, December 6th for Fix It Friday, and Flash into Savings Friday on December 13th. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shalia Roll.
And still to come.
When we come back, UB North hosting Innovation Summit at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom. All this and sports when we return.
It has the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of. Now it's here. Commonwealth Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly approval. It's a service that just comes naturally to us, just like how love of tradition comes naturally to you. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Dolly Madison.
Island Dreams Productions presents The Affair, a thrilling show coming to the Regency Theater Saturday, November 23rd at 8 p.m. and Sunday, November 24th at 4 p.m. Get your tickets now, $40 in advance or $50 at the door. It's happy hour at Prop Club Beach in the Grand Lucayan. Join them every Friday and Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. for great food and drinks. Open Monday to Thursday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and until midnight on Fridays and Saturdays. Don't miss out. Third Dimension is back and better than ever. For all of your home improvement needs, from tools and plumbing to housewares and a brand new paint center. Stop by Third Dimension, call 352-6126 and get started on your next project today.
Do you or your business need to enhance your customer service? Well, take advantage of the Grand Bahama Port Authority's free customer service training session from November 27th through the 29th. Register online by Friday, November 22nd to secure your spot.
Here at Freeport Decorators, we have hundreds of products for you to choose from. Whether you're in the market for trophies, plaques, rubber stamps, corporate signs, any kind of interior signage, stamps, or seals, we're your one-stop shop. We feature glass, acrylic, crystal awards for every occasion. We build all the trophies here on site. Looking for a gift item? We feature pens, key rings, mugs, tumblers, barbecue tools, even bamboo cutting boards. Have something already? Bring it on down. Let us see if we can print that special something on it for you. Need a headstone? Memorialize the memory of your loved one with a beautifully lasered granite marker. Our store hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. we focus on customization. So if you have an idea or a new concept, bring it on down or call us at 352-5557 or even WhatsApp your idea to us at 646-0777 and we will do our best to make your awards and recognition ideas a reality.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And welcome back. The University of the Bahamas' Ignite program showcasing some cutting-edge ideas and entrepreneurial spirits as it hosts its Innovation Summit at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom this past weekend. The event bringing together innovators, business leaders, and students to explore the future of technology, sustainability, and economic development in the Bahamas. Matthew Martinborough reports.
Assisting the upward trend of entrepreneurship in the Northern Bahamas, the University of the Bahamas Ignite program hosting their Innovation Summit at the Grand Lucayan Ballroom this past Saturday, under the theme, Breaking Boundaries Through Technology and Innovation. The event is a staple in the university's goal of fostering innovative ideas and driving digital advancements in micro, small, and medium enterprises. Executive Director of the Ignite program, Kentura Bob Higgs, hopes the event drives more intriguing investors and entrepreneurs to make a notable mark in the local economic climate.
Coming to our Innovation Summit, you may meet entrepreneurs who you may not have had the opportunity to meet just walking down the street, right? We bring together these professionals, these innovators, the creatives to change the mindset, especially in Grand Bahama, on the opportunities for entrepreneurship on this island and in the country.
Minister for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Ginger Moxie, says the Ignite program has by far exceeded expectations with its barrier-breaking impact.
When I think of UB Ignite, I think of all of the possibilities that exist with the over $2 billion of investments that is happening right now, with the additional, visitors that we will have as a result of it.
Mentors and enrolled pupils in the university's Ignite program has nothing short of high praises for its course as it continues to educate new and old proprietors in their respective fields.
I think that their program is an excellent program for anyone who wants to do business, is looking to start a business, who wants to improve themselves in business. It is an excellent program for them.
That's why I signed on, because I said this is an opportunity for me to give back, to pour in what I learned on my own or even through my profession as a business person and also in the working arena.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Matthew Martinborough.
And now it's time to ask GBPC.
How does Grand Bahama Power Company prepare for a hurricane?
That's a frequently asked question. So GBPC prepares for storm season beginning from the month of January to May, which is pre-storm season. This is the time that we take to review our playbooks and our procedures. These help us to determine what it is we should do and when we should do it. During the month of May, post into storm season, we then begin to monitor the weather forecast. This keeps us on our toes. We continue to watch the weather forecast and have frequent Charter Committee monthly meetings. This helps us to stay on task and also assess as conditions change. In the event we do incur a storm, we then conduct a lessons learned. Lessons learned help us to restore more safely and even quickly in the future.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
Well, primary school basketball got underway this week, and also a major swim meet took place on the weekend at the YMCA.
All right, sports is coming up next, but first, a check on the local weather forecast.
Tonight's weather forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Cause it's so beautiful.
Attention Freeport, get ready to fuel up faster with the Focal Smart Pass app. Say goodbye to long lines and hello to convenience at your fingertips. Pay at the pump and get back on the road in no time when you use the Focal Smart Pass app. Download the Focal Smart Pass app, fuel up faster at all Freeport Oil Company service stations. Download and fuel up faster today.
Get ready to flash into savings with the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Flash Friday series. Enjoy amazing deals, discounts, and surprises every Friday from November 22nd to December 13th. Shop local, save big, and even dash to win prizes. For more details, call 350-9000.
One of the biggest decisions you will make when remodeling a kitchen is the design choice for your kitchen cabinets. Whether you want your kitchen to look modern or traditional, the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets will make a sound choice. Stop into Cont Bahamas today and let them enhance your kitchen with the Casablanca White Shaker cabinets. At Cont Bahamas, they also carry an array of Calacatta quartz countertops. Cont Bahamas, Sandy Port Nassau, Freeport Grand Bahama, Abaco, and Eleuthera.
Journey to a serene oasis. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
Portobello's at the Grand Lacayan invites everyone to a Thanksgiving celebration. Enjoy Sunday brunch on November 24th or Thankful Thursday on November 28th with a buffet and live entertainment. For more details and reservations, call 373-1333.
Craving big Bahamian flavor? Get to Tropical Gyros, where you'll find juicy, boneless chicken that packs more meat, pound for pound. Filled with our Chef Culmer's loaded lineup, tender chicken, shrimp, salmon, lobster, grouper, and conch gyros, all topped with our signature tropical sauces. Gyros, bowls, salads, tri-jerk chicken, lemon chicken, lamb, or grilled veggies, dine in or take away. Visit us on West Settlers Way or call 602-7062. Tropical Gyros, Bahamian owned and packed with flavor. More meat in every bite.
Freeport, don't buy that ticket just yet. The biggest Black Friday event is about to come your way. November 28th, 29th, and 30th. Mark your calendars. Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center is bringing our 3 days of blackout right to your doorstep. Thousands of items from Amazon, Home Depot, and Walmart, all at their U.S. online listed prices, freight and duty paid. It's a shopping spree like you've never seen before. Don't believe us? Bring your phone and Google it. Join us at the large warehouse on West Settlers Way next to Thompson Trading. Don't miss out. Be there or be square.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. First in sports, the YMCA hosted its 3rd annual Charlotte Python Invitational Swim Meet. Swimmers from Grand Bahama and New Providence competed for bragging rights and Carifta Cuts. A number of swim clubs locally saw their athletes put on some outstanding performances with some fast times in the pool.
Felt pretty comfortable. I think I could have pushed a little more, but there are other meets in the season, so I don't think I'm done with that time yet.
My 50 breast was amazing because I got a new PR.
I feel very proud, but I feel like, I could go a little more faster to try and beat Skylar to get a High Point trophy.
Executive Director of the YMCA, Karen Pender Johnson, says the swim meet is one to put the kids to the ultimate test.
And this meet is very special to us because we're honoring one of our former coaches who has since passed. She was very instrumental in the sport of swimming in the Bahamas. And we're just elated. This is our 3rd year, and we hope to see many more years celebrating Charlotte Python.
Next in sports, scores from primary school basketball action. Walter Parker defeated Freeport Primary 4-0. Next, the Falcons of Tabernacle got the win against Wilbur Oughton 6-4. Sunland Stingers with the W versus BMES. The final score on that one was 4-0. Now over in the West, West End Primary got the win against Martintown 9-4. And West End came back again to win 14-0 versus Holmes Rock Primary. Games will continue through the week over at the YMCA. And finally in sports, the Bahamas Senior Men's National Basketball Team will have a new head coach in John Lucas III, an ex-NBA player and most recent assistant coach with the Phoenix Suns. Lucas will lead the team into the second window of America's Cup qualifiers this week against Puerto Rico on Friday, November 22nd. Team Bahamas will play again on Monday, November 25th against Team USA. And that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
We all need to save. Save time, gas, and money. Shopping at Save More can help you do just that. Make us your first stop for all your prescription needs and medical supplies. Get all your health and beauty items at the same time. And don't miss our huge choice of snacks to satisfy your cravings. And the largest vitamin selection and over-the-counter relief products. Need diapers and other baby care items? First stop. The new section for makeovers, cosmetics, and beautiful jewelry will make you sparkle for that next special event. Save More Drugs, your more store.
It's Football Sundays at Prop Club Beach in the Grand Lacayan. Catch all the action from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. with happy hour deals all day. Great food, cold drinks, and your favorite teams. Call 373-1333 for more info.
The most important thing in life is family. And whenever you need reliable advice, you look to the people you know you can trust. At J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, we earn our clients' trust every day. Whether it's home, motor, travel, or commercial insurance, we've got you covered. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
Burn Bryland having a good old time.
Like a day-away trip, you can go to after many years of not having a regatta, we are expecting it to be a bash.
How have you been enjoying regatta? I had a wonderful time. Oh, it's a turtle.
We fell in love with the island and we fell in love with the people.
Join us on Friday, November 29th at 8:30 p.m. for the North Eagles Regatta. Tune in right here on the ZNS Network.
Your number one team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thanks so much for tuning in. Here's a live look at the Bahamas tonight, coming your way next.
The news is brought to you by BTC. For the fastest speed internet, get BTC Fiber. Sign up for a fiber bundle and get a $500 Visa gift card. Visit a retail store to sign up today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, a heart-wrenching discovery in southwest New Providence. Also, the government says no to value-added tax. Tune in for the reasoning behind its hardline approach and what the business community has to say about it. And a full-circle moment for a former local government member who today opened debate in Parliament on proposed legislation designed at revitalizing that body. The Bahamas tonight, the National Report starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. When desperation leads to despair and distraught, our Altavis Munnings and cameraman Shane Gibson this hour on the scene of a gruesome discovery in southern New Providence. Altavis, what can you tell us?
Mukushla, we are right now located off Faith Avenue South, not too far from the Anatole Rogers Senior High School, where police are conducting their initial investigations into the discovery of the body of a young female child. Now, this scene is located not too far from the entrance of Bonefish Pond. There's quite a ways to get here. Not too long ago, the police was able to remove the body from this area right behind me. Joining me right now to provide initial details on the police's investigation is the Commissioner of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, Mr. Clayton Fernando. And Commissioner Fernando, you were very emotional when you spoke with reporters not too long ago about this about this investigation. Let's first start off with the initial details. What did your officers find here this evening?
Yes, earlier on Tuesday morning, there was a report of a missing young girl, child, at the age of 12. The parent went into the Carmichael Road station and reported her missing. The officers right away commenced investigation. Based on their investigation, they got intel and information which direct them into this general area. We had a number of officers, a lot of assets. We had 3 drones in the air, and we had 2 K9 units that checked the entire area, where they came up with a young female lying on her back, just in bushes just behind me, with a top on. There was no bottom, and there was a piece of cloth tied tightly around the neck. Based on the description, we believe that that is the person that was reported missing on Tuesday. That will be confirmed tomorrow during an identification. Bahamians, I want to say tonight that this is a time now that we have to come together as a country to fight this scourge with crime. I have communicated with the nation's leader, who is out of country on business, and he is confirming with us that we will leave no stones unturned. The person responsible should not be out here another hour. So we are encouraged members of the public who live, especially in this general area, with any information, to please reach out to us right away. We continue to say to people, members of the public, that if you see something, you hear something, say something. And we encouraging members of the public to please do just that. Do just that. We have some information, we have some intel, and we are following some significant lead at this time. When you start to mess with our little darlings, our little jewels, our pearls, then it's a different level. As I said earlier tonight, I take this one personally, and every Bahamian should do the same to try to bring some closure to this matter.
Commissioner, not only as the country's top cop, you're also a father, uncle, brother. Give some advice to parents on how they can keep their school children and children safe at all times.
I continue to listen to talk shows early morning, and no longer than this morning on my way to work, tuning in. There was a lady who called and said that 6:30 in the morning, they're seeing young children in the schoolyard, unattended. And we continue to say to parents, do not leave your young children unattended. It should be supervised. Not at these schools, but wherever the young people go, you should know where they are at all times. At least to be with some responsible adult to ensure that they are safe. Look at this area, man. We believe that the person, the young girl, lives in the rear here. And from the road to where this incident happened, it's about a half a mile. And the residence is another mile deep, pretty much in the forest.
So you believe, sir, that the person you're looking for knows the girl because she frequents this area?
I suspect, based on the information thus far, I believe that the perpetrator is known to the victim.
My final question, sir, you gave your team some instructions about this investigation. Could you let the nation know?
Absolutely. I have already identified a team, an operation team, along with the investigators, that they will move swiftly and leave no stones unturned throughout until we bring closure to this matter. And we will do just that with the guidance of the good Lord.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
That was Commissioner Clayton Fernando of the Royal Bahamas Police Force providing us with some initial details on the discovery of a young female child that was found here off Faith Avenue South early this afternoon. As you heard from the Commissioner, he's leaving no stone unturned to ensure that this investigation receives positive results. I can also tell you, Mukushla, that the parents of the young child were here. Of course, they were distraught and emotional. A group of persons who live in the area are at the entrance of this scene, wanting to know any details that they can hear from about this investigation. But this is a developing story we are continuing to follow. Reporting from Faith Avenue South, Mukushla, back to you.
Well, thanks, Altvies. A very troubling end, an unfortunate end to what police are convinced is the end to a missing persons report here in the capital, the gruesome discovery of a female child. Well, switching over to money matters this evening. The International Monetary Funds suggesting the government hike the rate of value-added tax back to 15% in order to meet its debt target of 50% of the gross domestic product by the year 2031. But the government says no, holding firm to its commitment to bring relief to Bahamians. Felicity Darville reports.
The report suggests increasing VAT to 15%, introducing personal income tax for those in the high earnings category, raising the rates paid on our water bills, collecting outstanding health care fees, implementing a 15% profit tax on large earning businesses, and eliminating the ceiling on property tax. Director of Communications in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Ramming, said the government strategy is robust enough to avoid raising VAT.
Currently on the table now, there are no new taxes, no additional increases on the backs of Bahamian people. Let me be very clear. From this government was elected, we have not implemented any tax, increased any tax on the backs of the Bahamian people. I know that there's a growing perception of this, and so I think it's important that we deal with this issue. What we have done is for companies that are in the Bahamas and foreigners who are doing well economically in the Bahamas, we've asked them to pay their fair share.
The government did receive a nod of approval from the IMF. The report states that authorities have taken steps to increase transparency and effectiveness of domestic debt management operations. The IMF states that the Bahamian economy has staged a remarkable recovery following Hurricane Dorian and the COVID-19 pandemic. Activity and employment have recovered, and inflation has fallen back to below pre-pandemic levels. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Darville.
We can also tell you that back in May, the government introduced a green paper on this very issue to garner feedback from the public on how the introduction of other taxes would affect them. Here's what Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator the Honorable Ryan Pinder, shared in the upper chamber this past Monday.
And that focus was to maintain and improve competitiveness by introducing a modest corporate income tax for all firms in the Bahamas. And the argument for this soft approach was that it maintained regional tax compliance. And that would have been 15% for all multinational enterprises, so we would honor the 15% for Pillar 2. and everybody else would pay a 10% corporate income tax. And that was the soft approach.
Senator Pinder says feedback from that green paper led the government to make the decision not to implement a corporate income tax or increase the VAT tax at this time. Well, meantime, having reviewed the IMF's recent report, the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation has its own questions relating to the proposal to increase value-added tax and water cost here in the Bahamas. For instance, what's the rationale and to what percentage? What feasibility study was conducted to even determine that this is the best course of action? When is the proposed increase intended to be introduced? And is the recommendation for a phased approach or immediate implementation? The BCCEC reasons that the Bahamas already has a challenge with water quality, pressure, and consistent supply. Instead, the Confederation recommends streamlining government spending to control expenses, which it reasons would have the same or better effect on revenue as the proposed tax increase without an added burden to taxpayers and businesses. In other news tonight, while Haiti will certainly be a key talking point when CARICOM heads meet in Georgetown, Guyana on Friday, there seems to be said about the surge of crime in the region, the public health issue pulling the likes of leaders, policymakers, technocrats, specialists, and stakeholders who will turn out for the second regional symposium focused on sharing knowledge on successful preventative interventions for crime and violence in the Caribbean. It's expected that regional examples will be highlighted as potential programs to either replicate or scale up across the Caribbean. The Inter-American Development Bank recently cited that Latin America and the Caribbean social and economic development remains heavily burdened by crime and violence, limiting growth, driving inequality, and diverting public and private investment. Further, according to the IDB study, the cost of crime and prevention in 2022, security expenses by private businesses account for 47% of the total cost of crime, while state spending on crime prevention represented 31%, and the loss of human capital made up 22%. The Davis administration last month shifted into its clear, hold, and build approach to reducing crime in the country, and this in the face of the homicide count nearing 110, coupled with increasing cases of sexual assaults, armed robberies, and stolen vehicles. Coming up, gas wholesalers told no. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
At Commonwealth Bank, we offer affordable and flexible choices to get you back to financial fitness. Our personalized debt consolidation solution is built to fit any financial situation. One easy-to-handle monthly payment reduces your monthly expenses and gets you back on track to savings. Life is great when you're not weighed down by debt. Consolidate and live your best life with Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
KFC is giving you more to love with our KFC Bucket Meals with large size. Get the KFC Family Bucket featuring 8 pieces of juicy chicken, family fries, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4. A KFC Deluxe Bucket with 10 pieces of delicious chicken, 2 larger sides, and 4 biscuits that feeds 4 to 6. Or a KFC Party Bucket with 15 pieces of our chicken, 3 larger sides, and 6 biscuits that feeds 6. And we'll handle the dishes, plates, and utensils included, so you can lick your fingers and reach. KFC knows value, and it's finger licking good.
This Christmas, stay connected through all the family traditions. Holidaying is unwrapping gadgets, gigs, and gift cards. Sign up for a $64.99 or higher postpaid plan and get a free smartphone. 3 gigs of bonus data for 3 months and a chance to win a $100 gift card. We've got you covered with the ultimate postpaid deals. For more postpaid offers, visit us online at bdcbahamas.com.
Holiday season, the Ministry of Energy and Transport is bringing light back to Bahamian homes. Through our partnership with Bahamas Power and Light, we're offering the Merry and Bright Holiday Reconnection Program, so you can pay as little as 10% of your outstanding balance and get reconnected just in time for the holidays. Pay a little, light up a lot. The Ministry of Energy and Transport is committed to making sure no family is left in the dark this season.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies.
You're looking at a shot of the beautiful city of Nassau. Welcome back. House members spending a full day debating the local government bill, proposed legislation that's expected to repeal and replace what's on the books. Starting things off, Minister with responsibility for local government, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, who says the current Act of 1996 has failed to produce the intended results of empowering districts by giving them more autonomy, adding that over time, autonomy has been significantly reduced. Listen in as Minister Sweeting outlines the structure of the department to ensure efficiency and effectiveness.
Since 1996, the department has faced challenges which have arisen as a result of statutory functions not being clearly defined or being of subsequent changes to legislation. This, in some cases, would have re-centralized statutory responsibilities, ultimately causing some statutory boards to become barely functional. This bill looks to reinstate and in some cases expand specified statutory responsibilities, particularly with respect to building control, town planning, road traffic, hotel licensing, and port matters.
The opposition lending support to the bill. However, St. Anne's MP Adrian White's pushing for the bill to be passed before month's end or no later than December.
But the bill itself, Madam Speaker, speaks to an election date under the Act of the third Wednesday in June of 2027. So if we pass this bill today, Madam Speaker, if the Senate passes this bill after that, and the bill itself repeals and replaces the existing Local Government Act, that means that the next election is not going to be for years. The next election will not be until the third Wednesday of June of 2027. You won't be able to, from my reading of the bill, Madam Speaker, to have an election in December. You won't be able to have an election in January. You won't be able to have an election in June of 2025.
For clarification, persons throughout this country has advocated for fixed election dates. This is a first step towards that through this Local Government Act. Why it is in June of 2027 was because of COVID. Local government elections were postponed. So this is to bring it in and coincide with the fiscal budget year of central government.
All hopes dashed for local petroleum wholesalers looking to profit from a margin increase. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis outrightly dismissing that notion with the argument that his government is tackling structural issues relating to the cost of living. Those comments coming as Sir Franklin Wilson decrying that wholesalers had not seen an increase in over a decade. This, of course, in the face of retailers locking down a gas margin hike of 25 cents.
The issue with wholesalers has a different circumstance. We are looking at it. We're not looking at increasing. We're trying to find how we could decrease the costs of wholesaling in the Bahamas.
Well, every day, thousands of food items enter the Bahamas from around the world, and ensuring they're safe to eat is a monumental task. From inspecting imports to supporting local farmers, BAFSA says a vital role in protecting public health. But how do they tackle this responsibility? Our Diane Dorset has the story.
Import bill remains in the millions and is estimated to make up nearly 90% of the nation's supply. Ensuring the safety of what ends up on our plates has never been more critical. At the forefront of this effort is the Bahamas Agricultural Health and Food Safety Authority, BAFSA, the agency tasked with regulating and safeguarding the country's food systems. In a recent interview, BAFSA's Director of Food Safety and Quality, Dr. Patricia Johnson, emphasized the importance of hygienic practices at food businesses and ports of entry.
1 out of 10 people, according to the World Health Organization, will get ill from eating contaminated food. Okay, so we want persons to really be vigilant in terms of washing their hands, washing the preparation environment, ensuring that their food business, the environment outside is just as clean as the environment inside.
In 2023, BAFSA officials conducted over 10,000 inspections at food imports, rejecting several shipments due to contamination concerns or improper storage. And while imports dominate the national food supply, locally produced items are also subject to strict regulations. Dr. Samadi Giorgio, Director of Veterinary Services, explained how her team works closely with farmers and restaurants to ensure compliance with health and safety standards.
In order for you to bring in animals, there's something called a risk assessment that has to be done if we are not trade partners with that country. And we conduct that risk assessment, determine that there's no possibility for the disease to come into the country, and then we allow you to bring that in.
Foodborne illnesses remain a significant concern, with BAFSA identifying common culprits like improperly handled seafood and contaminated produce. Looking ahead, BAFSA plans to strengthen its regulatory framework by introducing electronic import permits. Importers will be able to request and receive permits electronically using Click to Clear. Director of Technology, Advancement and Development, Christopher Worrell, shared more on this new digital initiative.
Previously, it was a paper system, and we had a lot of slowness, and it wasn't really able to meet the needs of the Bahamian people. We've modernized, and we've been able to actually digitize that system. We can now cut down the turnaround time from about a week for some permits to now 24 to 48 hours.
As the Bahamas grapples with the challenges of a globalized food supply and an increasing need for self-sufficiency, BAFSA's role in securing the nation's plates remains essential. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
When labor is not in vain, a heartfelt tribute to a dedicated healthcare worker who lost her life during the COVID-19 pandemic. Arawak Home's newest development in southern New Providence in honor of a late frontline worker. Arawak Home's newest developments, as we said, in honor of a frontline worker, Jacquet Johnson. Here's Frannon Wilson, president of Arawak Homes.
We learned that notwithstanding the fact that at that time, or before a vaccine, Nurse Jacquet was there, which exemplifies the finest qualities of nursing: skill, empathy, and unyielding commitment. We learned that Nurse Jacquet Johnson served in the accident and emergency department for more than 20 years, touching the lives of countless patients and families.
Johnson's sister, Crystal Johnson, shared how special the day was for their family.
I don't know how the date was chosen, but somehow, things have lined up, and today is actually the 4th anniversary that we laid Jacquet to rest. So today, this is a beautiful memory for us to have on this what was a very sad date for us.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Over a decade ago, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies was birthed out of a passion to change the way we travel. From only a $5,000 grant, the tenacity and work ethic has propelled BSGC to one of the leading road management companies in the Caribbean. We pride ourselves on going the extra mile where others won't, through the use of our state-of-the-art equipment and our certified team. Although the success is commendable, the road has been long. Yet, the mission continues in striving to be a world-class organization ran by Bahamians for Bahamians. With the help of our experienced and hardworking team, we at the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies are committed to making a difference, one road at a time.
It's time to rumble in a courtyard brawl to recall. Don't miss live boxing this Friday, November 22nd, featuring 12 outstanding fighters. The Ripper, Officer KO, Chief, Showtime, Lil Thunder, She-Ra. Who will take the championship belt? Red team of Misha Major Payne or blue team of Tremaine Choo Choo Mackey? For details, call Best at 421-9783. Get 20, 40, and $50 tickets at Fusion Superplex box office. Then watch 6 courtyard brawls. Punches will fly. 7 p.m. this Friday.
In the Bahamas, island time is real. The history of Morris Lumber Company, established in 1945, is etched into the fabric of this proud island nation. It's a story that deserves to be celebrated in full color, and that's where we come in. Morris the Paint Place has been bringing color and vitality to homes and businesses across the Bahamas. Here, color is more than just a hue, it's a symbol of life. Together, we can paint a brighter future.
It's good to be alive this holiday season. Alive is partnering with Western Air to bring 4 lucky Bahamian students home for the holidays for free. If you're a student studying in Florida, all you have to do is share a creative video showing us why it's good to be home for the holidays with the hashtags
It's good to be home and it's good to be alive.
And don't forget to check out our live social media pages and bealive.com to see if you're eligible.
It's good to be alive when things free.
And it's even better to be home for the holidays.
The 2024 Long Island Business Outlook.
As someone who was born and raised here, I am very, very excited for the new growth opportunities that are coming to the island. And hopefully, many of us who haven't been able to thus far can return home.
Find out about groundbreaking and current projects and how you will benefit. Connect with business leaders and influencers and move your business forward. Register now, tclevents.com. Secure your spot today.
Make this year your best year yet. Education is the key to success, and the University of the West Indies Global Campus Bahamas is your partner in success. Take a course that increases your value in a matter of weeks, or get that degree you've been dreaming of with convenient online learning. Visit us at global.uwi.edu/Bahamas, call 323-6593, or WhatsApp 456-6687 today.
Blessings gonna find me.
At this juncture, we're hoping to bring a smile to your face in the newscast, and for that, we're relying heavily on Jimenita and Marcellus, who are joining us live to give us a sneak peek of Access Now. Guys?
Oh my gosh, one local company is celebrating 5 decades in business.
Wow, that's longer.
That's quite a feat.
As long as I've been alive. I know, right?
Well, stay tuned. More in a moment.
Nassau, Bahamas Liquidation and Auction Center is back with our annual 3 days of blackout. Mark your calendars for November 28th, 29th, and 30th. It's 3 days of unbelievable deals right here at home. We're bringing you thousands of items from Amazon, Home Depot, and Walmart. Everything at their online listed prices, freight and duty paid. Don't believe us? Bring your phone and Google it. Experience the U.S. prices right here in Nassau. Call us at 698-0123 or WhatsApp 557-2522. Meet us on Mackey Street. Don't miss out. See you there for 3 days of total blackout deals.
Have you been waiting for windows? Then wait no more. Cont Bahamas have in stock now PVC sliding windows, casement windows, and impact sliding windows with mirror tinted glass, all in different sizes and styles. Call us at 352-1301 or visit any of our 4 locations in Freeport, Nassau, Abaco, and Eleuthera for the great products and great prices. Open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Cont Bahamas, dream, design, deliver.
$10 deal. Available only at Marco's Southwest, Prince Charles, Village Road, and Robinson Road. Fine. Let me see what it's about. I'll take 20 of those, please. Wait. You good? Yeah, bro. Marcos, get this new deal. Get yourself a large one-topping pizza for only $10. $10? Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. Hey, I need 30 of them $10 carry-out pizza deal, please.
Well, today on this World Children's Day, and with the news of the discovery of what authorities believe is the body of a 12-year-old girl reported missing earlier today, we reiterated the advice of police officials, urging parents and guardians to become involved in the lives of their children. That does it for the National Report. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.
Young girl, I always loved watching the women come in and get their hair done, commune together with everybody. I grew a great appreciation for that. I always had a great love for making women feel beautiful and just the atmosphere of a beauty salon. Hi, my name is Asia Cartwright, and I'm a hairstylist at the Glow Bar in Ophir Bay. I enjoyed accounting. I did it professionally for a few years. After the pandemic, I decided to take a leap of faith, go off to school in Atlanta at Aveda Institute to learn the science behind hair, because I realized this is my passion. This is something that I really wanted to do, but I wanted to understand the real depth of, okay, why does hair do this? Why is it responding this way? What do I need to do to help someone get on their best hair journeys? It's not been easy. When it's fueled by passion, you always have an extra push and motivation to just try harder. It's being fueled from your heart space. I enjoy making women feel beautiful. I enjoy being a listening ear. It's more than hair, it's like therapy. We all leave leaving lighter. For women that are, facing some type of fear, that want to change their path and careers, I would say do it. I trusted God because I don't feel like he would have given me the vision and the dreams if it wasn't for me. It doesn't matter what no one says. It doesn't matter, how it looks from the outside. And I'm going to give it my all, and that's what I do.
To learn more about the Women Entrepreneurs Initiative, visit our website or contact us at 461-7232. And remember, empowered women empower women.
At a ceremony held by the Nassau Rowing Club celebrating the newest addition to their fleet, the 8-person rowing boat, Forever Jilly, Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, delivered remarks highlighting his support for rowing in the Bahamas.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sport of tourism is really being bolstered by the sport of rowing today. The sport of rowing is an emerging sport that has, in a little over a decade, made a place for itself in the sporting landscape of the Bahamas. Today, we have gathered to dedicate this fine rowing craft in the advancement of this dynamic sport. This beautiful rowing craft, the Forever Jilly, has great vibes. It bears the name of Jill Stewart, the beloved departed wife of Adam Stewart, our donor and executive chairman of Sandals International Resort. Jill Stewart was a strong advocate for youth development, and her legacy lives on forever. We commend the Nassau Rowing Club. You have had many big dreams for the Bahamas, and as minister, I'm very pleased with the club's aspiration to become a partner in sports tourism. Through the club's facilitation, we envision in the near future the Bahamas becoming the winter training grounds for international collegiate rowing teams. You have big dreams thanks to the club's commendable initiative. Some 2,600 public school students have to date been introduced to the sport, and at no charge to their families. The club has plans to double that number over the next year, and this is truly inspiring.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Michael Miller, and this is Tourism Today.
Just a season for ringing of the bells, and Abilities Unlimited is celebrating its 50th anniversary. Yes, 50 years. Our West Calic Sports straight ahead with the details.
Plus, a nice gesture goes a long way. Our Prime Minister's wife stops by bearing gifts for the Persis Rogers home.
And it's the changing of the guard, ZNS at Government House, because only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And coming up in sports, St. Anne's rides the blue wave in high school baseball.
Bahamas Tonight, Access Now starts now.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall.
And I'm Jiminita Swain. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, Access Now.
Well, Jimmy, tell you what, you predicted right. I saw somebody a woman in a fur coat today. Guess where she was?
For some reason, I don't think I should answer that.
You're probably right on that note. Let's dive right into the news and get you started what's going on as far as local-wise. Now, starting things off for you tonight, we return to a story that highlights both the resilience and the struggle a center dedicated to providing employment and opportunities for individuals with disabilities is facing financial struggles right now. Our West Calix Forbes has more.
For half a century, Abilities Unlimited has been more than just a workplace for individuals with disabilities. It has been a lifeline offering dignity, independence, and a sense of purpose to people who often face discrimination in the workplace.
Well, having a special needs child, that's how I initially got involved with Abilities Unlimited. It means a lot because, like I mentioned earlier, there's very few facilities around. As persons age out of school at the age of 18, there's hardly anything for them to do. So this facility helps accommodate them. All employees are disabled in some way or the other. Okay, some are hearing impaired, some have slight physically challenged, some a bit mentally challenged, but it's an array of disabled persons that are employed at the center.
But now, due to financial struggles and what they described as being forgotten by the community, this vital center is on a brink of closure. The organization is pleading for help. They have tried creating different revenue streams to keep afloat, including selling pottery pieces and making pillows. But with the financial strain increasing, it has become more and more difficult to keep things running.
So, yeah, we're just reaching out to the public. We're looking at probably a minimum of $500,000. And that's just probably the tip of the iceberg because we also have a building that was started but never completed due to wear and tear and just, needing repairs and upgrades. So, we're at that point now. It's changed and now we need a repair. We just recently replaced the windows, had some repairs done to the roof, but there's still a lot of work need to be done. The ceramic area, we've had a lot of, when it rains, a lot of leakage. And so just overall, the building is in need of repair.
With the public's assistance, Abilities Unlimited can continue its mission. They're asking for donations, volunteers, and most importantly, the community's awareness. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Wes Calix Forbes.
Oh, for some time, Persis Rogers Home for the Aged struggled to keep up with mounting debt, leaving residents and staff uncertain about the future. But in a remarkable display of compassion, a collective effort from the wife of the Prime Minister, local organizations, and generous donors have ensured the facility will remain open.
The Office of the Spouse has donated blankets for the Home for the Aged, and we have some other donations being given by Bahamas and some other folks. So this is what we're doing here today. We're doing our civic duty and doing our community outreach. And I'm really partnering with my pilot sisters today.
Mrs. Leday, patron of the Persis Rogers Home for the Aged, and my fellow pilot sister, on behalf of the Bahamas Casino Ambassador Department, we wish to make this wonderful donation to the Persis Rogers Home for the Aged with hopes that you can further all of the initiatives that you have planned as you continue to take care of your residents in the spirit of doing more, caring more, and being more.
Well, to add a silver lining to this story, the opportunity to save the Persis Rogers Home was also marked by an unexpected but heartwarming Thanksgiving celebration. The donations allowed the home to host a festive luncheon for its residents, many of whom had never experienced such a gesture of appreciation and care. Volunteers, which included the wife of the Prime Minister, the Pilot Club, and the Bahamas Casino, helped prepare a sumptuous meal.
Blankets for the Home for the Aged, and we have some other donations being given by Bahamas and some other folks. So this is what we're doing here today. We're doing our civic duty and doing our community outreach, and I'm really partnering with my pilot sisters today.
The event was a reminder that despite the challenges, the power of community action can make a significant difference in the lives of those who need it most.
Now on this World Day, Children with disabilities from schools across New Province were at the center of a heartwarming celebration. The event not only showcased their talents, but also highlighted the resiliency and unity of the Bahamian spirit. Diane Dorset has the story.
It was a day of joy and togetherness as special needs children from schools around New Providence gathered for a special day. Under the theme, We Are the World, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, the Governor General, hosted a ceremony at Government House, stressing the importance of inclusivity for all children.
These children must know that they are loved. They have a right to be here, and we must treat them as such.
The day began with the changing of the guard by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, as well as musical selections, storytelling, fun games, and lunch. Mrs. Arlene Nash Ferguson, while telling a captivating story, highlighted the strength and pride of the Bahamian people and culture.
Let's celebrate. We are strong, proud people, and they told their children never to forget. Do it every year to remember how strong and proud you are. And right up to Christmas gone and God willing Christmas coming, we who are the children of these proud people continue to do it. Today it's called the Junkanoo Festival.
The ceremony featured several performances from students that reflected their unique abilities and talents. One of the most moving movements was a solo rendition of God on the Mountain.
Life is easy when you walk on the mountain. If you got peace in mind, but you never know. God is changing when you're down in the valley, but don't lose faith, for you never know.
As we continue to advocate for equity and inclusion, we are reminded that every child, regardless of ability, is celebrated and valued. And today was a prime example of that. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Well, still to come, it's Wednesday, so it's time for Leno's Wealth-Wise Financial Advice Series. Christmas is coming, so we need all the help we can certainly get with managing our finances. Stay close.
We eat, the brands we meet, and the specials at super value and quality supermarkets. Rainbow sliced beets, 15 ounce, $1.29. Whole chicken wings, $1.89 per pound. Fresh limes, 3 for $1. Great American white shrimp meat, 12 ounces, $3.99. Sunny Delight smooth or tangy, 64 ounces, 2 for $5. A full variety of butterball and Jenny-O turkeys, plus regular picnic hams, are at super value and quality supermarkets.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This Christmas, stay connected through all the family traditions. Holidaying is unwrapping gadgets, gigs, and gift cards. Sign up for a $64.99 or higher postpaid plan and get a free smartphone. 3 gigs of bonus data for 3 months and a chance to win a $100 gift card. We've got you covered with the ultimate postpaid deals. For more postpaid offers, visit us online at bdcbahamas.com.
Chapter 1 Bookstore at University of the Bahamas believes in the power of words. They have your next great adventure or that affordable textbook you need. You can go anywhere with a good book. To the library, to have coffee in a cafe, to the pool, to a cozy chair at home. And when you finish your book, you can browse for more good books from Chapter One. Chapter One Bookstore, open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., or shop online all day, every day at chapteronebooks.store.
And what you're seeing on your screen, a shot of Bahamas out there in western New Province. Our drone pilot Neville Smith out there flying tonight. Good job as always, Nev. Let's take a trip now to Grand Bahama with Jimmy to see what's happening there.
Family Island News is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Well, thanks, Marcellus. Justice with Judge Carroll is one of our hottest shows airing on the new ZNS network. Retired Judge Carroll Munnings-Misowich is the lead on this series, which blends or tries real cases. It's a blend of real law with a spot of humor in this show. Now in its second season, that's what it's all about. The show went on the road recently, taking its popularity to the second city, Freeport, where the remainder of the season 2 was shot. The production was a collaboration between ZNS's production team of the Northern Service and, of course, our production team headed by Karen Miller here in New Providence. A good production time was had. Back to you, Marcellus.
It sounds pretty good. Well, tonight on WealthWise, we're highlighting a topic that impacts every household and business, as a matter of fact, insurance. What is it? How does it work? And why is it so important? Not just for individuals, but for the economy. In this two-part series, one of Leno's partners, Family Guardian Insurance, breaks it all down.
Well, insurance is pretty much protection.
And with life full of uncertainties, when the unexpected happens, insurance can be the safety net that we need. Whether it's for your home, your car, your health, or your business, insurance is designed to help individuals and businesses recover from unforeseen financial losses. So how exactly does insurance work?
Insurance simply works by what we call risk pooling. A lot of persons think it's just a big insurance company pie in the sky, but what it is really, we pay out the benefit from all of the funds that comes in from all the various clients. And when one person has a catastrophe, all those pools of resources go to help fix that situation for that individual or for those families or that business.
Here in the Bahamas, insurance plays a critical role in protecting against natural disasters like hurricanes, which can cause catastrophic damage to homes and businesses. But it also supports the economy in broader ways.
Definitely it offers peace of mind for parents, kids, loved ones, business owners. That's the whole purpose for insurance.
So whether it's a storm, an illness, or an accident, insurance ensures that you're not the one facing the fallout alone. It's not just about protection, it's about empowering you to plan for a more secure future. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Thanks so much, Diane. Well, coming up in sports for this evening, we're going to take a look at the BISS playoffs as they roll into championship action. Who won? We'll tell you just ahead in sports.
We here at Candid Security offer a varied range of security services, including guard service, we do armored service, we do pre-employment investigation, background checks, also vet people for employment. A live business hosted PBX is extremely important to our operation. I don't have to be in my office. I can easily get connected with our clients, my vendors, my NASA office, and with our employees in the field, anytime, anywhere.
Janae's Christmas Wonderland with the best selection and prices in town is open under the Big Tent. Get 20 to 50% off selected Christmas decorations. Restrictions apply. Trees in pink, frosted green or white in a variety of sizes up to 15 feet. LED and laser lights, tree ornaments, lighted angels and Santa tree toppers. Bright, unique and lively colored Christmas balls, garlands, wreaths, ribbons, bows, snowflakes, puffs and blankets and much more. Add flowers, picks and decorative mesh to brighten up your home or office this holiday season. And don't forget the toys at Janae's Chesapeake Road. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. WhatsApp 817-3295.
Hey, Mom, can you look after Kaylee?
Sorry, I'll be out for a while dealing with my home and car insurance.
What? You know there's a newer way, right?
A new way?
Where have you been? Look, go to newerinsurance.com, log in, get your quote, buy your insurance, done. You can even use it to manage your claim.
Oh?
By the way, it's not newer. It's NUWER.
Hey, where's she been?
Do it anyway with NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers.
Thanksgiving is family, friends, and food. Celebrate them all at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Hunt's ketchup, 32-ounce, $2.99. Kraft mayonnaise, 30-ounce, $6.99. Fresh celery, 2 for $5. Chick-fil-A quarters, 10-pound bag, 99 cents per pound. Animal Classic Tonic, 10.5 ounces, $1.19. Case price, $28.56. And full variety of Butterball and Jenny-O turkeys, plus regular picnic hams are at Super Value and Quality.
Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check here on this Wednesday, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. It was time for championship action to continue yesterday in the BISS as they continued with baseball this time at the Andre Rogers Baseball Diamond. Amajal Knowles standing by with the details.
History on Tuesday as we would see the first championship baseball games played at the BAISS level at the Andre Rogers National Baseball Stadium in the junior boys between the SAC Big Red Machine and the St. Anne's Blue Waves. SAC would get out to a strong start, jumping out 5-0 at the top of the third. Their early play set the tone for what seemed like a runaway win. However, St. Anne's had other plans, trailing by 5 runs in the top of the 6th and down to their final 3 outs. They would tack on 9 runs and ultimately steal game 1 as 17-15.
Head coach Brennan really kept them in the game, told them we're going to score runs, stay down, stay safe, and we played the game well.
Tell me a bit about the bots. The bots just seemed to come alive in the final inning.
When they changed the pitchers, my guys caught up to the pitcher, we were able to make the runs, make the hits.
Now, obviously, one more game away from championship, best of 3. What do you guys have to do in game 2 to take it
tomorrow, we just got to limit, we got to work on our practice, we got to limit our errors, a lot of drop balls, a lot of pass balls by the catcher, and we can work on our pitching.
Their boss came around at a good time, and we made some unforced errors, and that's just how it happened, you know. We just got to lock in our next game and focus on the things we can control.
All right, any particular specific game plan for game 2?
The game plan today was pretty much executed to perfection except for the last inning. So once we continue with that and stay firm for the whole game, we'll be good.
On the senior boys side, a much more low-scoring affair. This one turning out to be a pitcher's duel between the Queens College Comets and the Kingsway Saints. Ultimately, it will be QC making enough plays down the stretch to walk away with a 4-1 win and 1-0 series lead.
The thing is, with my guys, it's lack of consistent hitting. Once they hit the ball consistently, then that's pressure on the next game.
The BAISS baseball championships will resume on Thursday. However, the game 2s of the girls softball championships currently underway at Freedom Farm. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
That's your check on sports for tonight. We do have a look at the weather just ahead. Stay with us.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant back again with another episode on the do's and don'ts at a service station. Let's go. What you ain't gonna do is just pull up to any dispenser and put the nozzle inside your car without reading the signs. Because if you put the wrong fuel inside your car and the car mess up, you can be mad at us, all right? And then you have to walk or catch bus for about 3 to 18 months. What you're supposed to do is read the signs. We place signs all over the dispenser to tell you which fuel is which. Because you put the wrong one in your car, say bop, and you could be mad at us. You could be, oh, what happened to my car? No, it's you who ain't read. It say diesel, diesel, one word, diesel. Your car up, and you mad at us. Read, that's all you have to do.
Our company offers a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done. But at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
It's time for your Access weather forecast and our live weather radar showing pockets of showers being advected into the northwest Bahamas ahead of a strong cold front, which promises to bring a nice cool down over the weekend. And our boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the northwestern islands tonight, south to southwest winds 12 to 18 knots, the wave height 3 to 6 feet over the ocean. Your high tide, that will take place at 11:30 tonight. In the central and southeastern islands, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave height 2 to 4 feet. And then tomorrow, Thursday, those winds become southwest to west, just ahead of that front. The front will go through later in the afternoon, and that will shift the direction towards the northwest. Wave heights at 3 to 6 feet. Now, your high tide tomorrow, 11:56 in the morning, with a low tide at 6:33 in the afternoon for the central and southeastern islands on Thursday. Southeast to south winds 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And on Friday, in the northwestern parts of our country, northwest to north winds, the winds come down just a tad, 10 to 15 knots, wave height subsiding 2 to 4 feet. The low tide will occur at 6:32 in the morning on Friday, with a high tide at 12:52 in the afternoon in the central and southeastern islands. Northerly component 10 to 15 knots, the wave heights also 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Wholesaler Assurance.
They all say that I dance is crazy. I make all the people them laugh. They all say, man, you move so funny. You long your neck out just like a giraffe. When I hear the beat, oh yeah, that's when I ready. Cause when I in the dance, all the people them scared of me. I just get so wild and man, you don't know if you get it.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Wholesaler Assurance. But stay tuned. We'll have the full weather update at 11 o'clock. Back to you, Marcellus and Jiminita.
All right, thanks, Pascal. Have you been following the weather globally, Jiminy? It's been kind of crazy going on out there.
Definitely, global warming is a real thing.
Yeah, it certainly is. Let's try to turn things over really kind of to a more lighter note, I guess, as we take a look at what's going on as far as the social media world. Matea Cunningham with Let's Talk Socials.
Let's talk socials. I'm Matea. Today we're diving into the world of mukbangs, those viral videos where creators eat massive amounts of food while chatting with their audience. On the surface, they seem fun and harmless, but let's take a closer look at what's really going on with mukbangs and the trend of overconsumption in content creating. Mukbangs started as a way to connect with viewers over food, sharing meals virtually with people who might be eating alone. But over time, the videos got bigger, louder, and let's be honest, way more extreme. Now, it's not unusual to see creators eating piles of fast food, family-sized portions, or bizarre food combinations, all in one sitting. Sure, it's entertaining, but it also raises questions about health, waste, and the pressure to constantly one-up the competition. Mukbangs don't have to be about excess. Some creators are shifting the focus to mindful eating, sharing cultural food traditions, or just enjoying a meal in a more relatable portion size. It's a reminder that content can still be entertaining without pushing extremes. So, as viewers, we need to ask ourselves, are we watching because it's fun or because it's shocking? And creators, how far are we willing to go for clicks? That's it for this segment of Let's Talk Socials. Let's keep the content creative, not just consumptive.
All right, great job as always, Matea. That's a wrap for us, Jimmy.
A wrap already, Marcellus? Where did time go?
Put it this way, Jimmy, we ain't got to go home, but we got to get the heck out of here, so.
Gotcha, that does it for Access. Now stay tuned for the rundown up next with Cliff Watson.
Good night, everyone.
Everybody.
Get ready to celebrate the incredible Bahamian legends of the sea. Tune in to the Anchor Awards this Friday and Saturday at 8 p.m. right here on ZNS. And join us for a fun-filled tribute to our maritime heroes.
feels overwhelming, and it's about time fishermen are honored.
For Jennifer, Christmas is all hustle and bustle.
Money never sleeps. Neither do I.
Until a wishing well
I will wish for true love.
delivers the magic of Christmas in an unexpected way.
Dearest Jennifer, I know you work hard, but don't you ever feel like you missed out on anything? Fondly, your Secret Santa.
It's like these cards just appeared. How mysterious. What do you think? Looks like you've got yourself a classy stalker.
Well, I'd send a letter of complaint to the post office if I were you.
The last couple of days, I've been getting these Christmas cards.
Oh,
You don't say, and this time of year.
Who are you really, Secret Santa? What about Brad? Oh, don't even say his name.
You always were one in a million.
Well, there's Chris from the coffee shop.
I just can't get over how stunning you look.
Is there anyone else?
It's me, Bennett.
You still look good. I'm gonna follow him. Wait, Jen, no, don't.
To the world, the Lord is come.
Sometimes you find love where you least expect it. Dear Secret Santa.
When the McAllister family left on their Christmas vacation,
Did we miss the flight? No, you just made it.
they forgot one small thing.
Have yourself. I've a terrible feeling. Did you lock up?
Yeah.
Do we set the timers on the lights?
Mm-hmm. What else could we be forgetting?
Our troubles will be ours. Kevin!
Home alone.
Police in the northern suburbs are on the lookout for a pair of burglars who are calling themselves the Wet Bandits.
We know that you're in there.
It's Santa Claus and his elf.
Get off my property.
This is my house. I have to defend it. Hey, guys.
Yesterday, he was just a kid. But tonight, he's a home security system.
You guys give up or you're thirsty for more?
A family comedy without the family. Home Alone.
Are you here all alone?
I'm 8 years old. You think I'd be here alone? I don't think so.
We are Kamal and Calvin Williams of Yellow Elder Primary School, calling on the whole Bahamas to celebrate all our children during Children's Week, November 18th to the 24th, under the theme, Teach the Children Integrity. Celebrate at home, school, church, and everywhere, remembering that our children are always special. In New Providence, join the final concert at the University of the Bahamas Band Shell, November 23rd, from 5 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Let's teach the children integrity. The success of our nation depends on it.
I'm gonna find a job and make my way.
You're gonna find a job.
An unlikely friendship
You took these. They're great.
will lead one family
You just want to see me.
Don't give up hope on Danny.
to rediscover the joy of the season.
I wish I could give him something.
You can give him one thing that can only come from you, your blessing.
Anne Heche, Silver Bells.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Dr. Gale, and I'm inviting you to be a part of a journey where we open the Word of God to receive strength, to receive empowerment from the Scriptures as they have been written. Get your Bibles, get your cup of coffee or your tea, because this journey is gonna be great. This is your day of victory.
I don't
don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking road, boy? You ain't even know where to park. Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park in, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap spot. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? Man, I tell you we shouldn't park here now. This way park here, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad, big bro. And he get a sticker inside to say this mother. We gotta move. This is a handicap spot. That's what we gotta move. But we gotta move. Don't. We can move right now. Sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
Abuse, domestic violence, suicidal tendencies. Are you being stressed out from these problems? Call the national hotline at 422-2763 or 322-2763. There are trained social workers available 24 hours to help you. Know that you are not alone in this.
Hey y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys waited today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper dread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work.
Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Did you know that if a fire starts in your home, you may have as little as 2 minutes to escape? Keep your family and home safe with these few fire safety preparation and prevention tips. Ensure that your home has working smoke detectors. They will alert you if there is smoke and fire in your home. Install a smoke detector on every level of your home, inside each bedroom and outside each sleeping area. Test smoke detectors every month and change the batteries every 6 months. Home fires can spread rapidly and every second counts. Create an escape plan and practice it with everyone in your home. Make sure everyone can safely escape in less than 2 minutes. Keep escape routes as clutter-free as possible so no one trips or falls on the way out during an emergency. In addition to smoke detectors, fire extinguishers is an important device to have on hand. To use a fire extinguisher, remember the acronym PASS. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep from side to side at the base of the fire. We must all do our parts to ensure that our families and homes are safe in the event a fire occurs. On behalf of the Commissioner of Police, the Director of Fire Services, and all officers of the Fire Department, let's work together to help prevent fires, because fire safety is everyone's responsibility, and the life you save may be your own.
It's a joy, to help someone who is in need,
I'm proud to know that we are able to accommodate them with a hot meal, fresh meal, and a well-balanced meal.
A lot of our clients, as you know, it's in the inner city and persons who really include and so much have lost their job. And for whatever reason, 2 months, 3 months, they really don't have anything. You have to have some kind of kindness to do this.
Strong family bonds provide a crucial support system, often filling the gaps that might otherwise lead to reliance on social assistance.
If we get the family structure support system right, you won't see adult children willingly putting their parents in senior citizens' homes. You won't see anyone putting children up for adoption. We should be the safety net for when the family begins to have some challenges.
Addressing the root causes of dependency is essential, as our goal is to shift the focus from merely providing aid to fostering self-reliance.
We must be prepared to move persons from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment. And I'm asking the public to join us on this journey.
This has been the Heartbeat Brief, an inside look at the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting.
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver, which is the organ responsible for filtering toxins from the body, producing bile for digestion, and producing proteins and clotting factors. The most important cause of hepatitis worldwide is viruses, of which there are 5 main types: A, B, C, D, and E. Hepatitis B and C are major health challenges globally, affecting over 300 million persons worldwide. The suspicion of hepatitis may be a challenge, as there are typically no symptoms. However, if infected, non-specific symptoms may include a decreased appetite, nausea, vague abdominal discomfort, jaundice or yellow eyes, and abnormal liver function tests. If not treated, hepatitis of any type can lead to cirrhosis and liver cancer, which leads to over 1 million deaths worldwide. If you suspect you may have been exposed to the virus that causes hepatitis, talk to your doctor today and get tested.
This public service announcement is brought to you by the Public Hospitals Authority in conjunction with the Medical Association of the Bahamas and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting is partnering with the Bahamas Christian Council to help build stronger Bahamian families.
I believe that our ultimate experience in living begins with God and family.
Our purpose is to facilitate, guide, inspire, and equip you to have a better life.
And a strong family foundation begins with each of us trying to become better individuals. Let's unite
for a stronger Bahamas.
This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the heartbeat of the nation, leading Bahamians from dependency to self-sufficiency to economic empowerment.
At Harold One, I'm Ted Jervis, and this is ZNS.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the show. It's great to have you with us. We apologize for the late start. As you can imagine, we are following a late-breaking story that tonight leaves us at a crossroad. The unfortunate and horrific discovery of a young child who today was one of several Marco alerts issued after being missing for several days. It is the worst possible outcome to this story, a parent's worst nightmare. And tonight, if you are a Bahamian, no doubt you should be disturbed. In fact, you should be troubled. You should be angry, to say the least. Where is the protection and care for our children? How was this able to happen? And the perpetrator must be brought to swift justice. Now, if you're just following this story and don't know what happened in our newscast tonight, our Altaviz Munnings has been at the scene pretty much all evening, and she tells us the latest from the scene on what happened. Altaviz.
Good evening, Clint. I'm right now located on an active crime scene on Faith Avenue South, not too far from the Anatole Rogers Senior High School. And Clint, I can tell you, it's really not looking good. Earlier, police had informed the media that they found the body of a young female child. Earlier this afternoon, police had issued a missing all points bulletin for 12-year-old Adriel Moxie. Police Commissioner Clayton Fernando, who's here on the scene, when he spoke with reporters, couldn't confirm whether or not this is the body of Adriel Moxie. But I can tell you, Clint, that he was extremely emotional when he spoke with reporters, providing first the initial details of the investigation. Here's what the commissioner said.
Earlier in the evening, based on investigation from the Carmichael Road Police Station, reference to a missing young girl that was reported there at the division on Tuesday morning. As a result of information received by the investigators, it led them to this area here, just off Faith Avenue South. And as you can see, this is a track road just off Faith Avenue. Officers came, a team of officers came and made a search of this general area. To my left, this is another track road just off of this main road here. They were assisted by our drone unit. We had 3 drones in the entire area, along with 2 K9 units and a number of officers. And they discovered a young girl who was lifeless, lying on her back with just a top on. On further examination of the body, it was discovered that a piece of cloth was tightly tied around the neck.
Now, Clint, I asked the commissioner whether or not the police is aware of who they are looking for, the suspect involved in this matter. The commissioner did confirm that the young lady frequents this area because she attends the Anatole Rogers Senior High School and she lives not too far from this area. In fact, she frequents this area literally every day. So the commissioner says they know who they're looking for, and he's gonna make sure there's no stone unturned to locate that suspect as soon as possible.
EMS came and confirmed that the young child was dead. We believe, based on description, that this is the same young girl who was reported missing at the Carmichael Road station.
As I mentioned, Clint, the commissioner extremely emotional on the scene, and he's offering this advice to parents to keep their child safe. As you know, it's the mandate of the Royal Bahamas Police Force to maintain law and order across the country. And these type of situations really the commissioner makes sure that they go all out to find every detail and capture the person responsible. Here's the advice he had for parents. Something like this from happening to them.
Well, we continue to say to parents, especially young kids, they're young kids, just about 10, 12-year-old. If they're going to school or wherever, you should know at all times where they are. At least some adult should be responsible enough to take care of them or to watch their whereabouts or their movements. Even if we know that the school is right out there that she attend. But just the area alone, you will see the darkness here. There's no lighting. And this is off the street. I'm talking about maybe a half mile off the street. But parents have to pay more attention to their young ones, our little darlings. This is one of our little darlings who has not lived yet. That individual who is responsible should not spend another hour out there. I have directed an operation team along with the investigators to team up. We have been talking to a few persons within the general area who is offering some information. And I want us to move quickly to follow that information. And we believe that we're on the right track based on the information that we are receiving at this time.
So, Clint, this is a very active investigation going on here off Faith Avenue South. A team, as the commissioner mentioned, will be assigned specifically to this case, and this is a story that we will continue to follow. Reporting live from Faith Avenue South, not too far from Bonefish Pond, I'm Altaviz Munnings. Back to you, Clint.
Thank you. And of course, Altaviz would have the latest at 11 o'clock tonight on that story. Well, Prime Minister Davis, who is in Guyana, where he'll join other CARICOM heads attending a symposium on crime and violence in the Caribbean, has released a statement noting that he shares with his fellow Bahamians the enormous grief and anger about the tragic death of a school child. The Prime Minister adding that we are united in our prayers to God that he may strengthen the victim's family and loved ones so that they may endure their heartbreak. The statement concluding with a sentiment the Prime Minister shared with the Police Commissioner, Clayton Fernandez, and that's that we are going to turn the country upside down to find the criminal who did this and bring him to justice. We're also hearing tonight from Education Minister, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin. And of course, she is, as you can imagine, distraught as well. In a brief release tonight says today's news of the tragic death of a child is every parent's nightmare. Now, she assured that education officials send their prayers to the child's family, school, and classmates and country at large. Now, the tragedy, Minister Hannah Martin added, is an outrage of the worst kind. And of course, we know we'll expect to hear more from her regarding this. We can also tell you tonight of another missing child, a Marcos alert issued for a 16-year-old boy, as well as 10-year-old Carmichael resident Evan Olisma. Now, a student of Gerald Cash Primary he is. According to police, the child, dark-skinned and slim, was reportedly last seen at Flamingo Gardens School. And of course, we'll have a photo of him and the latest on him on our website and as well in the 11 o'clock news tonight. I can also tell you that Police Commissioner Clayton Fernandez has also just updated the process regarding the Marcos alert. And he has said, while the law requires a Marco alert to be issued within 24 hours of a missing persons report, the Commissioner of Police has given instructions that an alert be given immediately after the report is made. So here's an amendment that's going to be happening going forward. Commissioner of Police saying the law requires a Marcos alert to be issued within 24 hours of a missing person. However, in his powers as Commissioner of Police, he's given instructions that an alert be given immediately after the report is made. Joining me live is Ms. Cheryl Walking, founder of Marriage, Children, Family Alliance Movement, CFAM, and of course to talk about this tragedy. Good evening, and thank you for responding to us at the very last minute to come here to talk about this. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
This is heart-wrenching.
It certainly is, Clint. My heart breaks, you know, not only for the family, but for our country. Because, you know, these instances are happening much too often in terms of you know, children going missing, children running away, you know, domestic violence, you know, abuse of children, neglect of children. And it's so interesting that today is International Day of Children.
Wow.
And I know that I had reached out to you, you know, to express my desire to be able to speak with you, because even before this news came out, I was concerned about the level of you know, the trauma that our children are going through in this. That, I mean, this is the pinnacle of it, but there are so many different levels of trauma that our children are going through based on the degradation of families. You know, families are just, you know, disintegrating the structure, and based on our family's responsibility.
That's it.
You know, it's the family's responsibility to protect, you know, the children. It's the family's responsibility to nurture and provide and to give security, and our children are very much lacking that. And so our organization is about advocating for the substantial creation, provision, nurture, and protection of marriages, children, and family. And they're all connected, Clint, because when we speak about children, we see the number of children that are being born to single parents. Right there is the key, okay? Our children are intended. Our children are not ours. Our children, we share them with God, if we want to, even turn it, look at the spiritual end of it, and we are squandering that divine privilege that we have to honor and to protect our children. And so it's connected: marriage, children, family. But we're seeing that our families are being started, single parents, and that is really where the breakdown starts.
We have to return to the values of family.
We most definitely have. There's no other way. There's no other way that we're going to have the full protection. There's no other way that our nation is going to be restored from all of these calamities unless we do.
This is obviously so sad, and I always talk about what you hear police talk about, some of the circumstances surrounding this, a dark road, a long road to the child's home, and the question surrounds why the child, if the child was by themselves, why? Why they walk in? And we see some of our kids, I know, because of circumstances, kids have to walk to school, but young kids should never be walking alone.
No.
No matter how drastic the circumstances is.
The situation is, Clint, is the fact that, parents are not available, Children are taking care of themselves. And so because that structure is not in place, and, the mother is working, probably multiple jobs, the father is unfortunately sometimes nowhere to be found, the child is on their own. And I have experienced this. I not only speak about, families on a whole, I've experienced this within my own family, family circles. And it's because we don't have that structure and that support within the family. And so it's a matter of, in some cases, going to work to try to make the dollar, or in a similar case, or going to the school and talking to the principal about your child who isn't going to school.
Well, we're definitely going to have you back to talk about this, because there's so much more we want to talk about it.
Sure.
But I wanted to make sure your voice was heard tonight.
Thank you.
Behind this tragedy.
Yes.
Thank you for accommodating us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. I just wanted to add, we have an activity that's going on Saturday, and it's actually a family love and Thanksgiving rally that's happening on Aaron Bailey Park, and we're inviting
what time?
It will be at 2 p.m. on Saturday, and it's in observation of International Children's Day. We're celebrating Women's Week. We're celebrating a lot of things. Men's Day was yesterday, but all of it is surrounded by family.
This is a good time to come out and take a stand for our children.
Yes, for sure. And we want you to come out and really just say why you're thankful for family, because I think people are forgetting the value and the power of family, and making sure that their structures are strong, and if they're not, that they can reach out to others to support them as they protect their children.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Stay with us. When we come back, my guest tonight is the leader of the Coalition of Independence, Lincoln Bain. He's here. No doubt, I'm sure he wants to have his voice heard about this and other issues in our country. We have a candid discussion with him up next. You're watching The Rundown. We're back after this.
Chapter One Bookstore at University of the Bahamas believes in the power of words. They have your next great adventure, or that affordable textbook you need. You can go anywhere with a good book. To the library, to have coffee in a cafe, to the pool, to a cozy chair at home. And when you finish your book, you can browse for more good books from Chapter One. Chapter One Bookstore, open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., or shop online all day, every day at chapteronebooks.store.
This is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Our company offers a simple philosophy, open hands. What do open hands mean? If you keep your hands closed, nothing comes in, nothing goes out. If you keep your hands open, a lot of things comes in, a lot of things goes out. We cannot expect to be a successful company without blessing our community and blessing our country.
My good friend and valued client, Dominic Stirrup, approached me following a meeting we had and told me of the idea that he had of feeding 10,000 Bahamians on Thanksgiving.
There was a lot of details to put together, had to figure out how to get it done. But at the end, it was worth it. At the end, it gave me a heart of gratitude to know that our company is reaching out to so many persons.
We invite you on a journey to witness an extraordinary chapter in the story of the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, a tale of compassion, unity, and the true spirit of Thanksgiving.
Welcome back to the Rundown. Well, since we've been on the air, we've spoken with the Prime Minister, the leader of the Progressive Party. We've spoken to his deputy, the Honorable Chester Cooper. We've spoken to the leader of the Opposition Free National Movement, Michael Pintard, to garner feedback on politics, what's happening in the country. Joining us tonight is the leader of the Coalition of Independents, Lincoln Bain, to really give his take on what his party is doing and their preparation for the next general election, and also speak to some of the national issues that we are facing in our country. Mr. Bain, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Clinton. Thank you for having me here.
It is our pleasure. I don't need to substantiate why you are here, but I think it's important for people to understand that if we are in a free and democratic society, we have to understand how it works in the media. Yeah. Your party or your organization, however you want to word it, at the last general elections proved to be a force to reckon with. A matter of fact, outpacing who we consider to be the third party, which was the Democratic National Alliance. That movement is no longer around, to my knowledge, and that puts your organization, well, even if they were around, it puts you in the third spot position because you garnered the third largest amount of votes. Yes. And that means that you always have a place here at the Broadcasting Corporation because Bahamian people obviously subscribe to you and listen to you, and our job is to be able to give you the space as well. And so that's based on the premises as to why we're here. So don't come for me. This is what we do here.
Thank you.
This is a people station, and we allow the people to have their voice. I want to start, first of all, if you wish, right where we are at with this story tonight. Yeah. Because this is a tragedy. You're a father. And we understand, as parents, how much we care for our children and our job as fathers to protect them. Yeah. When you see this happening in our country, what do you say to it?
Clint, first, I would say that November 28th is a significant day for me. It was the day in 1995 that I joined the police force, and it was also the day in 2005 that I left the police force. And so this is a significant day for me, and to be here on such a day when such a tragedy happens, it touches my heart. Yeah. I have to say, Clint, I cannot mince words. We are failing. We are failing our nation as it relates to crime. I want to say that the leadership of the police force is failing. I cannot mince words. They are failing. And so I'm going to tell them this so that they can do what they have to do better, because they have to do something. The government is failing on this. Our judicial system is failing on this, and we have to get it together. Every killer wants to live. No killer wants to die. And so one of the major problems that we're having is that the punishment does not fit the crime. We are not executing killers anymore, even though it is on our books. And so when we, as the government, break the law by not enforcing the law, we are failing. They're using the excuse of the Privy Council to say that the Privy Council put some specifications on it. All they said was the worst of the worst must be executed. And so what we must do is determine what is the worst of the worst. In fact, they told us what the worst of the worst is. We can put it into our laws so that we don't have that question again, and they can go back to executing killers.
So you don't believe their hands are tied? You don't believe when these appeals keep going until it goes to Privy Council and Privy Council sends it back saying we don't consider the worst of the worst, it ties the hands of the system?
The Privy Council, the Max Otito case, the Privy Council specifically said what the worst of the worst is. Someone who kills, but they're also doing it in the execution of another crime. So let's say you kidnap a girl and you rape her and then you kill her. That's the worst of the worst, in my opinion.
Right.
All right? And so all we had to do, though, was codify it in our laws so that you're not depending on the common law of the Privy Council's decision. We can codify in our law tomorrow in the House of Assembly, instead of the arguments they're doing back and forth. They can go and say the worst of the worst is this. And then the Privy Council's hands are tied because they can only deal with the law. Okay? And as long as it's within the Constitution, it is done. And so there are many countries around the world that execute killers, including the United States of America. We can do it. Because there is no accountability and there's no real punishment, it's going to keep happening. These fellas are willing to go to jail, do a couple of weeks, and then get bail and continue.
I wanted to ask that because we're trying to, everybody, Bahamians are trying to figure out how do we get around this issue of crime. Do you believe that crime is constant because there is no fear of consequences?
It's a myriad of issues. One of the major reasons is crime is very related to poverty, all right? And we need to empower our Bahamian people. And when people are suffering, they're going to do what they have to do to survive. And so that's one of the major issues that we have. Then when there is a little enforcement, not just on the part of the police, because the police are arresting people, but when they go to court and they can get bail easily, etc., and we've not found a solution to this, that's where a part of the problem comes in. There are a lot of solutions that we can bring to the table to avoid this. Criminals want to get away. Not only do killers want to live, but criminals want to get away. So if we put certain things in place, our team has met with the police commissioner and gave him advice on how they can properly police our society. He said they were very good ideas, but we didn't see him put them into play. For example, many of our communities are planned communities, not organic communities like Bay and Town. Planned communities like South Beach, like Elizabeth Estate. They have one way in and one way out. If you police them properly, one police officer in a car, and you have a police at the back entrance and the front entrance and a police roaming on the inside, because now you have more police officers available with one in a car, now the criminal is difficult for them to get away when you add CCTV along with it. Once something happens, a gunshot is fired, you know where it is because of the shot spotter, you can police better. We need to have a forensic lab so that we can have proper investigations, because personally, I don't want to execute persons based on gossip. I want us to have a proper forensic lab where we can have proper investigations, not who would want to see him dead, who did he have an argument with recently, what was he wearing. We need proper solutions to this crime, and we can solve this crime issue. They're saying that the courts are backlogged. The Prime Minister said it'll be 10 years. Then all we have to do, we have over 2,000 lawyers, don't we, Clint?
Yeah.
All we have to do is take these trained lawyers and create more courts. This is a national security issue. We are a tourist nation. Spend the money, create more courts, or bring persons in from other parts of the Caribbean, bring them to the Bahamas, and open up more courts. Court that focuses on the backlog. Give one judge, one magistrate, you're going to deal with the year 2000. You're going to deal with 2001. You're going to, and clear the backlog. There are simple solutions, but we are just failing at this time.
We look at what's happening in our country, and I think I want to go to this particular point because it is something that is used often by you and your team, that is social media. And there is a concern that the rhetoric on social media is becoming so toxic that we on one hand are trying to find solutions to crime and peace, but on the one hand we are creating disturbances with our rhetoric. And I'll give you a good example. And since he wants me to obviously call his name, I will. Right? There's a gentleman on the feed tonight by the name of Craig Curry. Right? And I often allow people to express their views and say what they want to say. But Craig Curry is on the feed tonight, and I don't normally give people attention who are attention seekers, but I want to make my point, and this was a perfect point, who says that Clint, if you a seller, something to that effect, and if you do what you do to the Bahamian people again, they will come for you. I will come for you. Now, to me, that's an open threat online that you're telling me you're coming for me, Craig. Now, the police are listening, so I'll leave it to them to go and do what they need to do. But this is the kind of rhetoric that I'm talking about, that we can all agree, we can all disagree, we can all have our views, we can all have our positions. But when we become toxic and go to social media and verbally issue threats or verbally lambaste people, how do we then turn around and talk about peace? How do we turn around and talk about our systems aren't working? You're contributing to the breakdown of the system. And I believe Bahamians have abused social media because we believe it's a coward move that we can hide behind a profile, make open-ended threats to people and not have consequences about it. I believe we have to be mature about what it is that we do. And I want you to speak to that because you have a very strong and aggressive social media platform. And I believe that we who are in the public light have to be the first ones to decry foolishness.
I fully agree. I think what you're hearing, though, is the voice of a people who are being abused, not just people who are abusing social media. When the people get angry, they start to lash out. Whether it's your children, your wife, your spouse, people start to lash out when they get angry.
But there has to be responsibility.
Yes, there must be.
Because if I get angry, I don't go and kill somebody.
Yeah, I'll say that. Just let me complete the full thing. And so, no, you don't go and kill somebody, except in the Bahamas where you won't get the proper punishment for it. But people are angry. And I hear some people say, Lincoln, a lot of your supporters are very angry on social media. And what I have to say to them is that those are Bahamians. Those are not necessarily my supporters. I don't know them. They're not members of my organization. They're like, you got to talk to your people. I'm like, talk to them. These are adults with freedom of speech, freedom of expression. Clint, we are public figures. You are a legend in broadcasting now. You've shown yourself on a different light. You've gone to two major stations now and just revolutionized them. So you're a legend in your own right, but you're a public figure. I wake up every day to people on social media telling lies on me. They make up stories. He did this at a church. He did that. He did that. They make up full lies. And people will ask them, okay, prove it. Or what did he do? And then they go quiet. But I have to take that. I believe in freedom of speech so much that I don't sue them. All right? Because I believe that people should have their voice. I get cussed out from PLPs, from FNMs, but you have to be mature. And so you are lying, so you can take that.
I know that
don't move you. I know you long time.
They don't.
I'm saying this for the public. But persons like that, those are persons, regular Bahamians who are angry. Now, what the government can do to deal with a lot of this is they can give us our Freedom of Information Act. Whenever you have secrecy, people are going to make assumptions. They're going to say things, and sometimes they're not going to say it properly. They're not going to word it properly, where they should say allegedly, reportedly. We're professionals. We're going to say that. Some Bahamians are just going to say, boy, I hear this, or this went down. And so the government is at fault. And so because a lot of people have lost trust for the media, Clint, a lot of people have. They've lost trust for the media. I've been a victim of some media stories that were not true. All right, but I don't go and complain. I don't row about it. I just move on. But there are some people watching that, and they're like, "Wow, they're painting the COI as rowdy when they went to Parliament to just present some bills. The police attacked Lincoln, and then the people got rowdy because he attacked Lincoln, but the news only showed the people getting rowdy. They didn't show the full story. But you will have 50,000 people watch the full thing on social media
and see some completely different.
And they saw something completely different than what the media covered. So now people are not trusting the media, and that's going to happen, Clint. And so you have to.
No, I fully stand behind that. One of the things I discussed just recently recently to someone was, I believe, I will say this publicly, that the media in this country has fallen down on its job. What I mean by that is we no longer tell the story.
Yeah.
We give our view of the story, and that's not journalism.
Yes.
Journalism is not, okay, this is my view of what happened. Journalism is, let me hear the facts, let me hear the information, let me do my research, and if it's factual, I report it. If it's not, I rebut it. That's what media is, but we don't do that today. There are agendas, and sadly, because there are agendas, the reports are not factual. And that is one of the reasons why I was adamant about coming back to the Broadcasting Corporation to allow ZNS to have its free wings to do what it was intended.
And I will say to persons out there that whenever we are going somewhere and that you know about it, you send a team out there to cover it.
That is what we do.
Yeah.
And that is how you get news. We're not here to make decisions for people. We're here to give people the information and allow them to make their own decisions and their own choices. That's what media should do. But I don't want to spend time talking about us. I want people to get to know Lincoln Bain. Tell us about you and why it is that you accepted this call. Because, and I say that because you didn't always start out doing this. You and I know each other for a very long time. For whether it's from the music world, people don't recognize he was one of the ones from Vision who sang the new Brand New World that Miles Monroe had recorded. And people don't recognize that's you singing bass in a brand new world. And then people will not recognize that one of the first, I call it reality shows we ever had, was Controversy TV. And that was you and a gentleman who works here. Y'all give me your guy number. Utah Taylor. It was y'all who were going everywhere, going on the beaches, and people park up and doing it. That was you. So I've been with you through various changes in life and stages of life. But never once did I see a political leader. What caused you to move into this vein? And I think, if I'm very careful, I remember when we got this fire to start a revolution back in the other place where I was. But I'll allow you to talk.
Yeah, and so I think it's natural progression. Even when I did my TV shows and my radio shows, I always fought for the people. They would not just see me on TV or on radio, they would always see me on the news because I was out there fighting for different causes. Every cause we won because we fought vigorously. And the powerful people in the country weren't used to someone fighting them like a Wolverine. They're used to us being afraid we're going to lose our job, can't pay your mortgage, that kind of stuff. They weren't used to what we were doing. And so it was natural progression. And so it got to a point where I decided that, you know, I wanted to be something more. I was a businessman, and that was what I did for a very long time. I was very good at it, and I loved it. But it was activism, fighting for people, the downtrodden, that always moved me. From I was in kindergarten, I was a bully killer, and so whenever, if you watch the battles I fight, it's against the powerful people. It's not against regular people. I'm not going to fight, you know, regular Bahamians fighting each other. You all go to court. But when it's someone who feels they don't have a voice and they're fighting powerful persons, I'm going to come in there and I'm going to beat that big guy. And so that has always been me. It came to a point where even me got tired, weary of it, and I was leaving the country. I was going to go away. I had a business deal. I was gone. But some ladies came to me and they wanted to go into activism. And I was like, man, listen, Bahamians, okay, I'm gone. I'm going to do a website for you, and I'll teach you how to do research, and then I'm gone. And as I started to do the research, I started to research on our natural resources first, because that's what they were interested in. And I started coming across things, and it was blowing my mind, Clint. It was stuff that I'd never heard anyone say before, things that really amazed me, that we were actually wealthy, we were rich. And so I said, no, we're not just putting this on a website, we're going to do a YouTube and a video, and we're going to put this on YouTube. When we finished the video, I was like, no, this is too big for YouTube. I am calling Clint, and I'm going to let him see this. And I called you, and you said, okay, send it to me. And you called me almost immediately, and you said, I want this. Right. How many of these can you do? And I'm like, no, this is documentary. Like, no, we need more of this. I was like, okay, I'll do one a week. It's like, deal. And you believed in what you were seeing because the evidence was being presented in it. It wasn't just talk. A lot of people before talked about the natural resources, but we presented actual evidence, signed documents, etc. And that changed the game. And as we showed this, you actually gave up your show, like you're doing now, and allowed us to play the documentary on there every week. And it got to the point where people started asking, you know, what are we going to do about this information we have? Right. And so we started to do the protests during COVID, the lockdown. We weren't allowed to do protests, but we did it anyway. We tabled a bill in the House of Assembly. We filed complaints with the SEC, the FBI. We filed for commissions of inquiry, etc., based on what we were seeing. And it got to the point where we decided to have a big rally. And that morning of the rally, they came and locked me up on some trumped-up charges, some really fake charges. It was actually funny. Of course, they dropped it because it seemed like their only purpose was to stop the rally, but it made the rally bigger. And I came to the decision right then that they're not going to do what is right. Clint, they've been lying to us about the natural resources. There's a clip going around with you talking about it, saying you're rich, you've been robbed. And so you agree with the same thing I agree with. And I want you to talk about this more, because this can transform our nation. Yes. This is the key to all of the problems. Our prime minister is going around from place to place begging. You see, they're saying that the IMF is telling them, y'all are going to need more money. We need income tax. Right. We need to increase VAT. Y'all need more money. Y'all owe us. And so the prime minister is saying, no, we're not going to do what they say, but they always do what the IMF says. And you may not do it now, but after election, income tax. So we need change, but what we've been teaching the people and what you allowed to get out there, because you were the person who sparked this movement. You gave us the platform to be able to do this, and so I thank you for that. Sure. All right, and I think the people out there should thank you for it too. Some people are disappointed you're not still talking about it, but some people tell me I need to talk about it more. Right. Can you believe that?
We all understand when we're in different roles, we do different things. Yes. It hasn't changed who I am. Yeah. My roles have changed. As a matter of fact, the reason why I got into working in government is because I, just like you, I was advocating repeatedly for change. And then it hit me, well, why not be the change? Yes. And so my fight still continues. And that's how I got change. Exactly. And to be the change for people, and I'm never going to stop that. And people can tell you, even in my role now, it's still, people call me and say I need help. I try to help them in whatever way, because at the end of the day, regardless of what label you're under, it's about helping people in our country, right? Because our country needs to help. We're a young country, but if we don't do something about it, we won't have a country at the end of the day. So I stand, and I still completely agree with you in regard to that. And so I understand the fight. I understand the push. Sometimes I think for people it's hard to accept some of the radical people that may be associated with you. We see Maria all the time. You know, she may be with her phone somewhere. She was in ZNS in Freeport yesterday asking, who have the tape for the John Griel Jones? And, you know, whatever it is. But that's what people do. Right. But underneath it, I believe there's a genuine desire, I would hope, to see a better country.
I want to say this, and the people around me, some people feel like, you know, the Bahamians that come out when we have a protest, and that's the people around me. I don't even know, like, half of those people, or not even a quarter. They are Bahamians who just come out to support the movement. But I want you to see the Bahamians around me. And I thank you for covering it, we released, a few months ago, 19 of our candidates. We just released another 2 candidates in Abaco. I want you to see the level of candidates that we're releasing. These are professionals. These are professionals who were never interested in politics, never. We had persons like Dr. Veronica MacGyver. She can't even believe that she is doing this, all right? She was never interested in it, but like you, she feels like we got to do something. She saw the evidence of the natural resources, and she believes that this is a way to empower our people, and she wants it to happen. You have people like William Knowles, you know, another well-known businessman, a CPA, and there's other CPAs and lawyers and doctors and accountants. These are professional people. These are not the old faces that you are used to. These are professionals, and when we start...
What is causing them to come forward?
Because they see the message. Most people who say that we're selling dreams or don't believe in what we're doing, they haven't actually watched or listened. Most people who watch and they see the message, they're coming forward and they believe in the change. Now, a lot of people are tired of the country failing. You can't go get educated, live in the States for a while you're in school, see how things just work, and then come back here and nothing works. Right. Come on. I'm not downing anyone, but 50 years and not one hospital, man. 50 years and we're still talking about electricity and water. They're basic. 50 years, we're still talking about ambulances. We're bragging about paving roads. Like MPs want a credit for building a clinic. 50 years, man, we got to stop settling. Or maybe that's why they call them settlements on the family islands. But we got to stop settling, Clint. All of our family islands are neglected. And so these professional people have come forward because another thing that a lot of them agree with, we have a principle called island states and city government. And we see the government now arguing a bill about local government, that they're going to change something. Nothing is changing in that bill, all right? They have the ability to raise some money by charging you for parks or something, but that's negligible. We believe that the money made on an island should stay on that island, Clint. Should stay there. Abaco, Grand Bahama, Andres, etc., we believe that their GDP could compete with actual nations like Jamaica, Barbados, etc., and we will be 24 nations in one, based on the plans that we're putting together. If they could keep their money, the airport alone at Abaco makes $60 million a year. That airport, the bathroom is barely working, the AC is not working, they don't have a radar. $60 million that they send to Nassau. This is what we want to change. We want the money that is made there stay there, and we have a proper city council and a mayor and a governor for the entire island that determines what the money does. Because guess what? The family island people wouldn't have the needs. They wouldn't have to be calling the Nassau to turn on the airport light. Right. You know, right now, they did some demolitions in Abaco with the shanty towns. The men who did the demolitions, they're saying they were not paid. All right, that's an allegation, of course, but they're saying they were not paid. You're hearing this all over the place. But guess what? If they were responsible on their island, they don't have to come to Nassau and beg for no money. They would get paid.
Let me ask you, because one thing we're not short on in this country from anybody is ideas. Everybody has ideas of how they can transform, how they can take the Bahamas to a first world, how they can do all these things. And then the big thing that we always forget to ask people is, okay, you have the what, you have the when, you have the why, and then what about the how? How do you, because when you're getting government, I'll be the first to admit, you may have lofty ideas and plans. When you sit in that seat, you recognize the bureaucracy of the public service, you recognize the obstacles of legal challenges you face. It becomes, there's so many hindrances to implementing progress in this country that it almost takes far beyond a 5-year term to execute any meaningful change. So my question to you is, how? Because let's say you were elected in the next election. Let's say Lincoln Bain is elected and he becomes prime minister. The same people who in the public service are the same ones who are there now. The same people who the same taxpayers out there who complaining about wanting a better life are the same people. How do you go and transform from the idea of greatness to a realistic situation?
So one of the things I do, Clint, is I go live every Sunday at 5. A lot of people say they haven't heard from you. Where are you? Because they don't see me in the media as much. But I go live every Sunday at 5. And the reason I do that is I'm the only leader in the country that exposes themselves to the public so that you can question me on my ideas and I can tell you how we're going to do what it is that we're going to do. It's much easier than we think. They make everything seem difficult in this country for a reason. The only problem we have in this country is corruption. There's no other problem that we have. We don't have an immigration problem. We have a corruption problem. We don't have a crime problem. We have a corruption problem. All right? And if we get rid of the corruption, then we can live in this country. We can breathe. We can get things done. What's going to get it done is, see, we want to take power away from the politician and give it to the people. All right? A lot of politicians want power, and some people think we want power. We don't want power. We want to take the power away from the politicians who have been failing us for 50 years and give it to the people. And that's where island states and city government is going to take us. No one is going to serve you better than you. All right? So you're going to do it. That's how. You are going to make sure your roads are paved. That school is going to be fixed in your community because your child has to go there. You got to drive on that road. You can make sure that clinic is fixed because you got to go to that clinic. Or your mother, your grandma has to go to that clinic. And we believe that this is going to change the game. Every country in the world uses this principle, even the communist countries. Only us don't use it because the politicians want to keep things to themselves. The politicians only seem to do what they can benefit from. And that's the problem. There's a corrupt culture that we all know about, but we don't talk about. We keep it hush-hush. Contracts go to persons that are gonna give some money under the table back to whoever gave them the contract. And so because they're only focusing on the things they can make money from, there's so much ingenuity that we could have in this country that is not getting done. Because if they can't get something from it, it's not going to be done. Well, we're not tied to the PLP and F&M, and so all those corrupt ties are going to go away. Our electricity bill is high because Focal sells the oil to to BPL. All right, why are they going to make your fuel surcharge less and cut their money out? And Focal is owned by the PLP and F&M, not literally the parties, but you know what I mean. All right, the interests. And so that's where your suffering comes in. These people are business partners. The F&M and PLP are one. They have been one. They've been working together. They've been pretending. I watched them debating in the House today, and Pintard got up and said, yes, we're going to vote for this bill. He's speaking for every F&M MP. We're voting for this bill. If you see problems with the bill, why are you voting for it? We are paying you to oppose. Or if you see a problem with that, you vote against that, and you expose what's wrong with that bill. It's not going to hurt, but it's almost like you're working together. And so the reason things don't get done is because they don't want it to get done. We can get things done. There are so many successful countries. We want our people to benefit from our natural resources because the real ideas in the country shouldn't come from government. The real ingenuity in any country doesn't come from government, it comes from people. You see what SpaceX is doing. You see what social media did. It didn't come from the government, it came from the people. But the problem in our country is we don't have access to capital. And so because we don't have access to capital, we can't live our dreams. We can't do that thing that we're gifted for. We can't take a risk because we just need a job. We got to pay a mortgage. You can't go open a business. You're going to fail. If you fail, you're going to be bankrupt. You may go to jail. And so what we want to do is have everyone benefit from their natural resources. Some people say, oh, you're selling dreams. The fact of the matter is the PLP came up with this $100,000 per household thing. All right, in 2014. They came up with this. They got it from the union leaders. Perry Christie grabbed onto it, formed a sovereign wealth fund and said, yes, we're going to do that. But they never did it. But people say, we say about this 100,000 thing because we want to win an election. We're selling dreams, but we didn't come up with that. All right, we followed it and we did an investigation and saw where we could improve on that because we have myriad natural resources. All we have to do is let our people benefit, because if you could get some of yours, your wife gets some of it, you have a brother, your cousin, etc., everyone has a talented person in their family, Clint. A talented person. Where you could say, boy, this fella could cook so good, but we can't open a restaurant. But if you're benefiting from your natural resources, you can actually say, let's put together, and this talented person right here, this the computer one in our family, just open a computer business. And that's what happened in countries that let their people benefit from their natural resources. The people didn't stop working. The people didn't get lazy. What they did was they started to do what they love, what they were born to do. Can you imagine a whole country with people doing what they love, not doing a job because they just needed a job?
Right.
And that is how we're going to change the game. So how it's going to be done? All of the ideas are out there in Bahamian said we are some talented, gifted people, you know. Yeah. But the problem is we are depending on 14, 15 people in the cabinet to determine what happens for the whole 5 years. And that's why nothing gets done. Because 14, 15 people can't focus on 700 islands. They can't focus on every idea. So they get lazy and they wait for a foreigner to come and bring their ideas, and that's where the problem comes in. We are going to put the money in the people's hand from our natural resources, and we're going to transform this nation.
Is there, because I know you're out of time, is there a guide, a book, a vision for the COI on how they plan to transform the Bahamas?
Yes, we released our Vision 2025 before the last election. We are currently, with all of these talented candidates and other persons, we are working on Vision 2030. It is going to blow your mind. Not only are we going to show you what's going to be done, we're going to show you how. We are doing 100-day plans. So Island State City Government, we're showing you what is going to happen every day from day one, from the day after election. And at the hospital that we're going to build, we're showing you the breakdown of everything, real professional plans that you can see, and you can say, wow, this can be done. Real plans. And so there's Vision 2030, and we're going to break that out in stages because we can't do all in one time. But we're going to show you the plan for a new Bahamas. And we are going to lead this country with new people, new faces, not the old political faces. We're going to lead us into the new Bahamas that just works.
All right, we're out of time, 9 o'clock. You got robbed because of our breaking top story. So that means one thing, I have to have you back so you can get your full hour. Because I want to be able to talk in detail about the plan. Healthcare. I want to be able to talk about youth and development for youth and education. I want to give you the opportunity to speak to those things. So I'm definitely going to have you back. That's an open invitation, a public one, so you'll hold me accountable to it. Thank you for being tonight. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
And that's our rundown for tonight. For all of us here at ZNS, I'm Clint Watson. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to stay tuned for the latest news and information information in the Bahamas tonight at 11 with Royston Jones. He's here preparing for the 11 o'clock news, and we'll have the latest for you. Please have a safe and great night, everyone. Good night.